Hi, this is Zibby Owens, and you're listening to Totally Booked with Zibby, formerly Moms Don't Have Time to Read Books. In my daily show, I interview today's latest best-selling, buzziest, or underrated authors and story creators whose work I think is worth your time. As a bookstore owner, publisher, author, and obviously podcaster, I get a comprehensive look at everything that's coming out and spend my time curating the best books so you don't have to. Stay in the know, get insider insights, and connect with guests like I do every single day. For more information, go to zibbymedia.com and follow me on Instagram at Zibby Owens. Hey everybody, it's Zibby, and I'm here with my husband Kyle. Say hi.
Hey.
And we are trying something new on the podcast, which is now Totally Booked with Zibby. And instead of having a guest today, because I had to reschedule an episode, long story, anyway, it doesn't matter, I wanted to talk to you about the many books that are coming out this year in 2025 that I am ridiculously excited about. And Kyle and I are going to chat about it. What do you think?
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. I'm also driving, and it's also really early in the morning.
That's true. We are driving. I'm on my way to Good Day, LA, where I'm going to recommend a couple books. And I thought it's like Kyle and Zibby in cars, like Seinfeld or something.
Sort of. I don't think I've had enough coffee, though.
Okay. So this is a pre-coffee. Did I have coffee? This is a pre-coffee
You did
episode.
I made your coffee.
That's true. That's true. You did. Okay. There are so many books that are coming out, and I just want to talk about it. So in January, I have been listening to Brooke Shields Is Not Allowed to Get Old for the last, 2 weeks straight, every car ride, when I'm doing stuff on my computer. I'm obsessed with the book. I got to know Brooke over the summer, and her audiobook is exactly what it was like going to dinner with her. It was so great. It is so inspiring. And I'm actually going to be doing an event with her at the Temple Emmanuel Stryker Center, I think on January 16th. It's on my website and everything, zibbyowens.com. So you can check it out in my events. But I'm obsessed. It's all about how people just take it for granted that we have so much left in our lives when we're older, and the power of creativity and creation and all the things you didn't know about her. And that helps us relate to her and helps us really get inspired ourselves. What do you think? You've been kind of listening a little bit.
I have been listening a little bit. I really, I appreciate her voice. I feel like that's really what I've gotten from it, because I haven't really been listening.
Okay.
I've just sort of overheard, and I thought to myself, whoever that is has a nice voice.
Yeah. Well, it's a pretty distinctive voice. And actually, I think it's super funny. Brooke is really funny. In fact, I'm at the part in the audiobook where she talks about how awesome it is when people say that she's funny. So I'm just going to say it. She's really funny. There are a lot of other great books that are coming out. There are celebrities who have books. There are a lot of new authors with books coming out. I'll just run through a few of the bigger names and some of the smaller names. For example, Maria Shriver has a book coming out. James Patterson has a book called The Number One Dad Guide, Be the Best You Can Be in One, the Best Dad You Can Be in 1 Hour. That's coming out in time for Father's Day. Wait, actually, I shouldn't have said anything. I should have just gotten it for you.
I mean, I don't know. Is that enough time to become the best dad? 1 hour?
Yeah, apparently that's all it takes.
7-minute abs.
7-minute abs and an hour to being a dad. I don't know. Okay, let me take you through. Those were just a couple to start.
You can become a dad within an hour.
I mean, far less than an hour.
Far less than
Okay, let's not go there. Okay, in January, there are some contemporary fiction books I'm really excited about. Cynthia Weiner, A Gorgeous Excitement. It's based on the Preppy murder, and I was in New York at the time. I remember hearing about the Preppy murder one day at Hebrew school and being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened. It took place in my neighborhood. It was right behind the Met, and it's all about sort of a place and time, and there was something sort of addictive about this book. Do you remember, have you heard of the Preppy murder, or was it a New York thing?
Yeah, I think I heard about that. Wasn't it about someone at a bar, and they went down to the reservoir? Some girl got murdered?
Yeah, not the reservoir, but in Central Park.
And Central Park.
But yeah, they were at Dorian's.
Yes. Dorian's. You know what? I just heard this story. A friend of ours, who he will remain nameless, just told me about this story a few nights ago. Randomly.
Yeah. Okay. Sash Bischoff, Sweet Fury, which is a very twisty, fun book, kind of based on F. Scott Fitzgerald and therapy and everything else. And now Kyle and I have been watching Shrinking, which is so good. So I'm even more obsessed with therapy than usual, even though I was a psychology major. How good is Shrinking?
Really good.
Really funny?
It's great.
Okay.
We'll see what season 2 looks like.
Yeah, we just finished season 1.
I feel like...
That was a lackluster endorsement.
I feel like the characters are becoming slightly annoying.
Really? No.
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
do people really talk like that?
Whatever. It's entertaining.
It's keeping us entertained.
Okay, moving on.
And that's nice.
Elizabeth Harris, How to Sleep at Night. This is not nonfiction. This is a novel, How to Sleep at Night. And it's about a couple, Republican and a Democrat. One of them decides to run for office.
Don't they say there's always a little truth to every novel?
They do. This is about 2 gay couples, 2 lesbians, 2 gay men, and how their lives intersect. It is so good. And actually, Liz Harris she covers publishing for the New York Times. So she has this inside look at everything going on in the book industry. And that sort of permeates a little bit, but not that much. Fiona Davis, who writes a book a year, has written The Stolen Queen, also about the Met. We're having like a Met January. Interesting.
Wow.
And
a lot of people have a dry January.
Yeah.
Not us.
No, we're having a Metropolitan Museum of Art January. Alice Feeney, Beautiful, Ugly. So good. I don't know why. I mean, I shouldn't say that. It's because she's a great writer. But as I was reading, even the first 5 pages, this is the only time I've ever done this, I started underlining, and there were so many great lines that I started numbering them. And I was up to number 12 by the time I got to the first 5 pages. So this is a bonus book club pick for Zibby's book club in February. So you have time to read it. Because of the time difference, she is in Australia. We can't do our book club live. So we are going to ask Alice a bunch of questions, and she will answer.
I feel like that's the main problem with Australia.
It is. Big time difference.
And the snakes.
Yeah. But my other book club pick for February is Amy Wilson's Happy to Help Adventures of a People Pleaser, and I'm actually publishing this through Zibby Publishing. And it actually was on this podcast where I was talking to Amy and said, you should write another book, because I loved her book before about being a young mom, and it was so funny, and it was about like chicken nuggets and being, worrying as a mom, and it was great. And she has this hilarious podcast called What Fresh Hell. And we talked about it and came up with this idea for a book on the podcast and right after. And she wrote the book. And now I'm publishing the book. And it's so good. I literally read the first chapter. Do you remember this? I read it outside here in LA. And I have never felt so seen as the first chapter of this book, Happy to Help. It's my February book club pick. And it comes out January 8th, I think, if that's the Tuesday. Do you remember meeting Amy Wilson? We've met her like a million times. Actually, I'm not going to put you on the spot.
Don't put me on the spot.
Okay.
And I think that answers the question.
Okay. And I'm also going to be...
Though I'm sure she's lovely.
At an event that Tuesday in New York City at the Veronica Beard store on Madison Avenue with Amy. And I'm literally sitting here wearing my comped Veronica Beard outfit for that event, even though I'm going to wear it again next week. And it should be fun.
No one can see you right now. It can be anything.
If you're in New York City and want to come by, the event is on our website, Zibby Media, and it's at the Veronica Beard store on Madison Avenue, like 78th, something like that. So you can meet her. Alla Fair Burks, The Note. Do you remember Alla Fair? We met her when we were sitting at the bar at the Palm. Remember we had dinner there once? Do you remember? Actually, not even dinner. We had like a drink or something.
Actually, I do remember that.
Yeah, in East Hampton, because she's based in East Hampton. Anyway, Alla Fair's been on my podcast before, and The Note I just saw today was picked by Sarah Selects from the Amazon Book Review as her book club pick of the month, and that's coming out in January as well. Also, Tracy Lang, who has been on my podcast, What Happened to the McCrarys, in February, and this is just contemporary fiction. Then I'm going to talk about memoir a little bit more. You guys still with me? Are you enjoying this? Let me know. Okay, in February, we're publishing another book.
There's always a little truth to every memoir.
A lot of truth.
Well.
Yeah. In fact, I wrote a memoir, and, as you know, you're like a star of the memoir bookends.
Right.
How did you feel about that?
I was like, a lot of this makes sense.
Jane Costello, It's Getting Hot in Here. It came out already in the UK. It was a huge hit. It's so funny. I love Jane. I love how she writes. You have to follow her on Instagram. She has one of the best sort of midlife fun, why can we not be like awesome, sexy, amazing midlife people Instagrams. It's getting hot in here about a divorced mom, enemies to lovers kind of situation. There's an ex-husband, 2 kids, one of the kids is struggling. It's so funny, and it's about going through menopause, but also having a fling, and all that's not like a cool word anymore, but anyway, it's so good. And
a hot fling.
Hot menopause fling. And Jane will be at our event on February 1st that we're hosting at the Whitby Hotel, one of our Zibby Petite retreats. So you can come meet her as well as 20 other authors. And that's also on zibbymedia.com. Jessica Soffer, this is a love story. Back to Central Park, actually. There's a lot of scenes that take place over the life of this couple and their son. It is heartbreaking and beautiful, and I just loved it. Charmaine Wilkerson's Good Dirt, she was already on this podcast. Jojo Moyes, she is one of my favorite authors. We All Live Here is her latest book, also about a family. Her dad has to move in with her and the kids after things happen in her life. It's an intimate, funny, amazing story. Quiet, beautiful, intimate. Ada Calhoun Crush, oh my gosh, so good. Also sort of about midlife reinvention and lust and everything. I don't know, maybe there's a theme.
Midlife and lust.
I don't know. Not even so mid. It's a little younger, but
all right.
Really good. Angela Baker, When We Grow Up. Daniel Daddario, The Talent. Tova Mervis, We Would Never. Rochelle Weinstein, who's a close friend of mine, also one of the contributors to I'm Being Jewish Now. We Are Made of Stars. Angela Brown, Some Other Time. She was on one of my book club picks last year for her book. It's a little A book. And Christina Clancy, who's been on this podcast, has a new book called The Snowbirds.
Now that's a fun name.
Yeah.
Christina Clancy.
That's her name.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Why is that fun?
It's a fun name.
Okay, we'll just say it all day.
It's a fun name to say. Christina Clancy.
All right, in March.
I don't even know the name of her book.
The Snowbirds.
Ah.
Charlotte McConaughey, I don't know, I'm not pronouncing it right. Wild Dark Shore. She's the author of Migrations. She has a new book. We're publishing a book by Nanda Reddy called A Girl Within a Girl Within a Girl, which is so good, about a girl who comes over from Guyana, moves to Florida. It's about how she reinvents herself time and time again, different identities to escape some bad people in her life. There's abuse, there's reinvention, then there's love and motherhood. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And she's a debut author, very proud of this. Claire Leslie Hall, Broken Country. This is one of Sherry at What Sherry Reads, who is on my Zibby Media team, founded the bookstore with her. She's amazing. Anyway, this is like her favorite book, not to speak for Sherry. Jackie Friedland, Counting Backwards, another contributor to On Being Jewish Now. Jill Santopolo, The Love We Lost. This is my book club pick for April because I loved The Light We Lost. Wait, hold on. The Light We Lost, which I had me crying in bed and like DMing her years ago. Now it's a sequel. No, The Love We Found, not The Love We Lost. Sorry, Jill. And it's a continuation of her story, but it's about photography and travel and also divorced. I don't know. Maybe I just like to read stuff a lot about, I don't know.
You're divorced.
I mean, I am. I know.
Right.
Well, look, I have a lens. Colleen Oakley, Jane and Dan at the End of the World.
And you're 40.
I wish. Yeah, I was. I'm in my 40s. So
there you go.
Ali Rosen, Unlikely Story. She wrote a book about being betrayed by she wrote an essay about being betrayed by a friend and On Being Jewish Now, and has been on this podcast twice. Jeremy Gordon, See Friendship, about male friendship. Meredith Turitz, Just Want You Here. Colin McCann, Twist. Marcy Dermansky, Hot Air. Curtis Sittenfeld. Lynn Stegerstrong, The Float Test. Oh, wait, I'm in May. Sorry, wait, hold on. John Kenny, this is the book Zibby Publishing is coming out with. As you know, we love John Kenny. Why don't you talk about John Kenny?
Oh, now you're putting me on the spot again.
Yeah.
Now I have to talk about John Kenny. I mean
it's easy.
I feel like if you like to laugh at things that other people maybe don't laugh at, you're going to like John Kenny.
I mean, and things you do laugh at.
I mean, he's very dry and sarcastic, and I just love that.
We laugh.
I think it's an acquired taste, though. I'll be honest.
I don't think so.
I think, but you know what? I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's nailed it. He's nailed the sense of humor that he's
It's actually not so different than Shrinking's sense of humor in a way. Sort of like
It's sort of like
clever.
Harrison Ford's character, almost a little bit.
Yeah.
Sort of dry and a little.
No, he's way funnier than Harrison Ford's character.
Well, yeah. He's
Well, anyway,
funnier than
this
Harrison
is called
Ford.
I See You've Called In Dead, and it's about an obituary writer who accidentally publishes his obituary when he's drunk one night after his divorce. Again, theme.
God, I
and
hope Harrison Ford doesn't listen to this. And then he says, well, who the F is John Kenny?
I mean, I hope Harrison Ford is listening to this. I'm just going to say.
I don't want him to be offended.
Anyway, obituary writer, he publishes his obituary. They want to fire him the next day at work, but they can't because you can't fire someone who's dead. And in the system, he made himself dead. And so he keeps going to work. So it's kind of like someone just called it The Office meets something else. I don't know. People always say that.
Meets the morgue.
I don't know. It's The Office meets maybe 6 Feet Under or something. I don't know.
Right. There's actually no one's really dead.
No one's really dead. No.
Right.
But it's all
sense.
about how he finds the meaning of life and about his relationships. And it's so funny. And he goes to funerals and meets other people and really gets to know people in a different way and gets to know himself. I love it. It's so good.
Self-discovery.
Austin Kelly, The Fact Checker. Actually, John Kenny writes for The New Yorker. And Austin Kelly's book, The Fact Checker, he is a fact checker he was for The New Yorker. So these are kind of a piece. Jennifer E. Smith, fun for the whole family. I've loved her other books. I'm so excited for this one. Elaine Goldsmith Thomas, Climbing in Heels. This is already being adapted. J-Lo blurbed it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Then you know it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's doing an event at Zibby's Bookshop. But anyway, Sarah Damoff, The Bright Years. Samya Dave, The Guilt Pill, which is about what if you could take a pill and get rid of all your guilt, which I'm fascinated by. Paige
I
Toon,
think they have that actually, maybe.
Manjaro.
Something. You're eating guilt.
Oh my God. Paige Toon, What If I Never Get Over You. Amity Gage, Heartwood. Amelia Ireland, The 7 O'Clock Club. In May, we have Annabelle Moynihan, It's a Love Story, which I already started to read. And it's about a former child star who wants to greenlight a movie of her own, and this guy in her office.
What's the next book that she... Wait, never mind.
What?
Never mind.
Annabelle Moynihan. It's a love story.
Right.
Anyway, I adore her. Nora goes off script, one of my
I
favorites.
was thinking of Gurwitch,
Oh no, not her. But
which has a really funny title.
Yes, that's coming next.
Annabelle Gurwitch is...
I'm not going to reveal it yet.
You're not going to reveal the title?
No, it's not coming out for a while.
Oh,
and it may
my
change,
God.
so I'm
Well,
not going to say.
Really? I wouldn't. It's fantastic.
Okay. Janine Cummins, who wrote American Dirt.
She's back.
She's back with a novel called Speak to Me of Home, which I'm halfway through. It's beautiful. It's really good. Totally different from American Dirt. Much more of a family story. And
Wasn't American Dirt sort of a family
that's
story,
true.
though?
But there was that escapist
And there was
thing.
that massacre.
Yeah. I must say I did publicly defend
Janine
Cummins
Cummins.
because American Dirt was so good, and then she got
You wrote an essay.
canceled. I did. I wrote publicly, and then I got like a bazillion Twitter haters.
And what's the name of the essay for those who haven't read it?
In defense of American Dirt.
I think it was called In Defense of Janine Cummins.
Whatever. It was one of those. Maybe.
man.
I can't remember. But anyway, Speak to Me of Home. Emily Atami has a new book, Kakagori Summer. I really love Fault Lines, which she wrote. It was a book club pick of mine. Jennifer Weiner.
Kakagori Summer?
Yes.
This is another midlife fling book?
Jennifer Weiner, who has written a million books and writes for the New York Times, I'm sure you all know her, has a new book, The Griffin Sisters' Greatest Hits. Wally Lamb, The River is Waiting, which I read last week. It is dark. I mean, no surprise, it's Wally Lamb, but he's the author of She's Come Undone, and
I Know This Much Is True.
I Know This Much Is True, which we both watched.
With Mark Ruffalo.
With Mark Ruffalo.
Incredible.
The River is Waiting.
Great title.
It is, but it's really not about the river.
Right.
It's
I feel like
terrible.
the river is possibly a metaphor.
It's terrible in terms of how it makes you feel because it's about a dad who accidentally runs over his son.
Did you just
God.
accidentally give it away?
No, it happens in the beginning, and it's about what happens after that. Jordan Roeder, Moms Like Us. This was hilarious. I really laughed out loud at this book. This is coming out from Little A. Also, Jordan is so funny. It's about the LA mom set and the party book parties, and oh my gosh, it's like a contemporary novel with, oh my gosh, again, sort of midlife love and lust and cheating on people. And
You picked all these?
I did. These are some of the ones I'm most excited about.
Oh, okay. I wasn't really sure what this was.
No, these are just a subset of the 8 million books coming out that I think people should pay attention to. Richard Russo, Life and Art. He's a master and has been on this podcast. Florence Knapp, The Names. Molly Masters, Bibliotherapy. Books. Oh, wait, these are out of order. This is January again. Books to guide you through every chapter of life. In June, everything's out of order. Well, I'll just say the out-of-order ones. In June, Julie Clark has a new book called The Ghostwriter.
Love Julie Clark.
Back to January, Stacey Willingham, Only If You're Lucky. Melinda French Gates, The Next Day, Transitions, Change and Moving Forward in April. Can't wait for that. Lindsay Jill Roth, Romances and Practicalities comes out in January. She'll be at Zibby's bookshop. Lauren Willig, who I just did an event with at the Yale Club, has The Girl from Greenwich Street. This is March, a novel of Hamilton Burr and America's First Murder Trial. One of the books I am most excited about in the whole year is Frederick Bachman, My Friends, which is so, so good. It's about a young girl, foster child, who meets this famous artist, and it's about the famous artist and this one painting of friends on a pier and about how the artist dies. This is in the beginning. I'm not giving it away. And his one good friend and how the friend teams up with the young girl. I'm not selling it very well. It's so good. Frederick is a master author. I love this book so much. Maud Ventura has a new book coming out, Make Me Famous. She wrote My Husband, which was so good. She's French. Nicola Krauss, one of the authors of The Nanny Diaries and one of the contributors to I'm Being Jewish Now, has The Best We Could Hope For coming out. Christy Woodson Harvey, who is a good friend and who I adore, Beach House Rules is coming out from her. Another author who has been on my podcast who wrote a book about widowhood, which was funny. It was like for people who don't like the word journey. Anyway, Leslie Gray Streeter's new book is called Family and Other Calamities. Nancy Johnson, People of Means, comes out in February. I'm all over. I hope this is still interesting. And yes, these will all be written down on my Substack, so you don't have to write them down on paper, but I'm just giving you a preview. Jessie Rosen, All the Signs. She had a book that just came out and was on my podcast. Same as Leanne Dolan, one of the Satellite Sisters. She has Abigail and Alexa Save the Wedding. Brendan Slocum, who wrote The Violin Conspiracy, which I loved and was a book club pick, has Dark Maestro. Moving to June, still mostly in contemporary fiction, we are publishing a book by Audrey Ingram called The Summer We Ran, about a couple who had a romance in high school and then an event separates them and they meet again when they are running opposite each other for office. It is really great. Fran Littlewood has a new book out, The Accidental Favorite. Taylor Jenkins Reid, Atmosphere. This is going to be one of the biggest books of the year. Amy Bloom, I'll Be Right Here. I loved her. She wrote In Love. Janelle Brown, What Kind of Paradise? She was on my podcast, I think, twice already. In July, by the way, Christine Pride, All the Men I've Loved Again. Morgan Pager, who is a bookstagrammer, The Art of Vanishing. And then there's so many nonfiction books. A bunch about our bodies, minds, and how to live better, like Bonnie Sui on Muscle, Janice Kaplan, What Your Body Knows About Happiness, Alexandra Soa, The Ozempic Revolution, Jess Johnston, Perfect is Boring and It Tastes Like Kale, Olga Kazan, Me But Better, The Science and Promise of Personality Change, Annie B. Jones, Ordinary Time, Lessons Learned While Staying Put, Tom Rochard, who I've already interviewed, Chasing Peace, A Story of Breakdowns, Breakthroughs, and the Spiritual Power of Neuroscience, Alison Woodbrooks, Talk, The Science of Conversation and the Art of Being Ourselves. This book was so good. It comes out in January. You have to get this. Alison Woodbrooks, Talk. I mean, we all talk, so it's relevant to everybody, right? You like to talk.
I love to talk. I love to just listen to myself talk.
Yeah. Martha Beck, Beyond Anxiety, Curiosity, Creativity, and Finding Your Life's Purpose also comes out in January. This is really interesting because it says creativity is the main thing that offsets anxiety. So I think this is why I like spend all my time in Canva when I'm anxious. Anyway, Ramani Durvasula, It's Not You, Identifying and Healing from Narcissistic People.
Who is it?
It's the other person.
It's everyone else.
Shauna Brittenham, You Are the Boss of You.
That's the problem right there.
Oh my
no
God.
one's just owning up to their own stuff. It's always someone else's fault.
Shauna came to one of our retreats. She wrote You Are the Boss of You. Gretchen Rubin, one of my favorites, has a new book, Secrets of Adulthood, Simple Truths for Our Complex Lives. She'll also be at our event in February at the Whitby Hotel, the Petit Retreat. Jenny Fielding, Venture Everywhere, Travel, Entrepreneurship, and a Roadmap for Life. Ethan Cross, Shift, Managing Your Emotions so they don't manage you. Michelle Jungmin Bang, Sun and Suscot, The Korean Art of Self-Care, Wellness, and Longevity. And then we have some writing advice books, like the amazing Maggie Smith poet has a new book called Dear Writer, Pep Talks and Practical Advice for the Creative Life. She was on Zoom at our retreat in Scottsdale talking about it.
She couldn't make it. She just could Zoom in.
Yeah, she had a childcare issue. It was very upsetting. I know, very upsetting.
Upsetting to who?
To me, that
you?
She wasn't there.
Okay.
But I'm sure to her too, and to all the guests. But it was great.
Maybe the child even that had the care issue.
No, the babysitter got sick and she couldn't leave.
Well, I feel like it's going to be most upsetting to the babysitter then.
Yeah, I think the babysitter, that's true. We should all feel bad for the babysitter. Yeah, I'm almost done here. Alyssa Altman, Permission, the new memoirist and the courage to create. She wrote a beautiful book called Motherland, and we worked together for a while, and I love the way she writes. She writes most beautifully about food, but now about writing.
She writes about writing.
Well, now she's writing a book about writing advice.
Okay.
Nicole...
Okay. That's a bold move.
No, I mean, a lot of people do that. Help people. Yeah. How you help people write better. Nicole Grave Lipson has a book of essays, Mothers and Other Fictional Characters. I'm doing an event with her at the Core Club coming up. Some parenting books, Jenny Anderson and Rebecca Winthrop, The Disengaged Teen, helping kids learn better, feel better, and live better, coming out in January. They'll be at the bookshop.
Engage better, even.
Yeah, and engage better. Nancy Reddy, The Good Mother Myth, Unlearning Our Bad Ideas About How to Be a Good Mom. I already interviewed her. Amanda Hess, Second Life, Having a Child in the Digital Age.
I know everything. I already know everything about how to be a good mom.
I mean, I just am such a good mom, so whatever. Right. Melissa Word, I Was Told There'd Be a Village, Transforming Motherhood Through the Power of Connection. Chenille Jones.
Yeah, that's a funny title.
Yeah, you like that?
I was told there would be a village.
There'd be a village.
There'd.
Yeah, it's a good title.
Right.
Chenille Jones.
I was told there'd be flying cars by now.
I mean, they're drones.
Okay.
Through Mom's Eyes, Simple Wisdom from Mothers Who Raised Extraordinary Humans. She's a GMA or Today Show person. She's a big journalist.
They're basically the same show.
Stop it.
Really,
there's some historical fiction coming out. Bernhard Schlink,
Do you think
the granddaughter.
Was like, wait, is it GMA or is it Today? Because it's going to determine whether or not I read this book.
I think it's interesting because she talks about how famous moms, like how moms of famous people raise their kids.
Moms of famous people.
Yeah.
Raise their kids.
Yeah, they should have interviewed my mom. Just kidding. Pam Jenoff, Last Twilight in Paris. Marie Benedict, The Queens of Crime. Again, these are historical fiction novels. Allegra Goodman, Isola, which I read. Marcus Suzak. This is actually not historical fiction. Now I'm jumping all over again. Marcus Suzak, who wrote The Book Thief, 3 Wild Dogs, and The Truth, a memoir. Daniel Black, Isaac's Song, is coming out in January, a novel. Viola Shipman, The Page Turner, in April. This is March. Lori Wooliver, Care and Feeding, a memoir. Susan Wiggs, Wayward Girls. Actually, that's not till July. Remember that book?
Wasn't that The Bicycle Thief?
No. Brigitte Giraud, Life Fast.
The Book Thief. How hard are they going after this guy?
Corey,
if it's a guy. I don't know. Maybe it's a woman. But are they really, like, pursuing their heart? Like, are they, you know?
Oh, my God. We're almost running out of time here. Corey Ledbeater, The Uptown Local, Joy, Death, and Joan Didion, from Joan Didion's former assistant. Neely Tabato Alexander, Courtroom Drama. Victoria Christopher Murray, Harlem Rhapsody. Georgia Hunter, One Good Thing. Patty Callahan Henry, The Story She Left Behind. Marie Bostwick, The Book Club for Troublesome Women. Martha Hall Kelly, The Martha's Vineyard Beach and Book Club. Mary Alice Monroe, Where the Rivers Merge, and Serena Burdick, A Promise to Arlette. And now a couple memoirs that have to be on your radar.
We're going to run through quick.
Because I have to go on TV. Neko Case, The Harder I Fight, The More I Love.
Wait, sorry, I've talked through that one.
You did. Neko Case, The Harder I Fight, The More I Love You. She's a musician. Sarah Hoover, The Motherlode, Episodes from the Brink of Motherhood. This is so good, it's going to be huge.
I think it's Nico Case.
Oh, Nico? Okay. Well, this is Sarah Hoover. I already interviewed her. It's amazing about her postpartum depression and falling in love with an artist, and it's awesome. Bonnie Reichart, which, as you know, I'm still reading, How to Share an Egg, A True Story of Hunger, Love, and Plenty. Loving that book. Geraldine Brooks, Memorial Days. So good. This is a bonus book club pick. Kiona Harris, Mainline Mama. Corrine Rosser, When You're Ready, A Love Story. Amy Griffin, oh my gosh, The Tell, about what happened and the secret that she kept from everybody. She's a friend of mine, and this book is so good. She'll be at the bookshop. So excited for that one. Joshua Mille, Connecting Dots, A Blind Life. Samina Ali, Pieces You'll Never Get Back. Shelley Fraser Mickle, Itching to Love, The Story of a Dog. Bernice McFadden, Firstborn Girls. Oh, I also just finished Judith Viorst, Making the Best of What's Left When You're Too Old to Get the Chairs Reupholstered, which is so good. Oh, Molly Jong Fast, How to Lose Your Mother. She's Erica Jong's daughter. Also, Nina Stibbe went to London, took the dog. And there are more, like some history and true crime. Renee Rosen, Let's Call Her Barbie. Casey Sherman, remember we went to that event at the bookstore?
I do, I'll never forget.
Blood in the Water. Brad Meltzer and Josh Mensch have the JFK conspiracy. Ron Chernow, Mark Twain.
His last name is Mensch?
Yes. Scott Turow,
sounds like a good guy.
Presumed Guilty. Harlan Coben, Nobody's Fool. And then some other ones coming up soon. Carly Fortune's One Golden Summer. Emily Henry has a new book.
Carly Fortune from Toronto.
That's right. Christina Lauren, Love and Other Words. Lucy Score, Story of My Life. Betty Cayute, Tell Me How You Really Feel. Deanna Rayborn, Kills Well with Others. Catherine Mack, No One Was Supposed to Die at This Wedding.
Kills Well with Others.
Yeah. And then also Jessica N. Turner has a book coming out. She's a big Instagrammer who I met at Mom 2.0. Alex Astor, Summer in the City. The Float Test, did I say that? Lynn Stegerstrong, I think I said that. Self-Sabotage by Jeffrey Sale. The Holocaust, An Unfinished Story, Dan Stone. I think this is almost it.
I'm going to start telling people I'm a big Instagrammer.
Romantic
You
Friction.
have a lot of followers? No, I'm just on it a lot.
Romantic Friction, Lori Gold. Kevin Wilson has a new book coming soon, Run for the Hills. Michelle Wilgate, What My Father and I Don't Talk About. 16 Writers Break the Silence. She wrote What My Mother and I Don't Talk About. Allison Larkin, Home of the American Circus. Victoria Benton Frank soon has The Violet Hour. The Last Session, Julia Bartz. Say Everything by Ione Skye. In God We Trust, The Paris Express, Emma Donahue. And I thought it would be better than this, is Jessica N. Turner's book. Anyway, there are many more that I haven't had a chance to write up but are already in Canva, and I will be publishing this whole list soon, and we will be selling these books at the bookshop and doing events with lots of people and podcasts with lots of people. And I hope that you've enjoyed this little preview. And I hope you've enjoyed Kyle. What do you think?
There's got to be at least 2 people still listening to this.
If you are one of the 2 people still listening to this, send me a DM on Instagram at Zibby Owens. Email info@zibbymedia.com.
Because you're a big Instagrammer.
And let me know. I want to know. Did you enjoy this or not? I know there were a lot of titles, and how could you possibly remember them all? But you have a preview, inside sneak peek. Thanks for listening. Bye. Thank you for listening to Totally Booked with Zibby, formerly Moms Don't Have Time to Read Books. If you loved the show, tell a friend, leave a review, follow me on Instagram at Zibby Owens, and spread the word. Thanks so much. Oh, and buy the books.